Wamsted. This is my house.
Whoa, that was crazy. I did not expect that to happen. Hello, 8th grade math. I'm Mr. Wamsted. Today, we're just going to review the 4 types of angles, all right? 8 types of angles, lots of angles, all right? To do that, though, I've got to get out of this Bitmoji classroom so that I can do a little bit of, hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, so real quick, let's go over the 4 types of basic angles, all right? It should be right here. Okay, first up we have the right angle. That's the one that makes the perfect L, all right? That little symbol with the upside down L is the right angle symbol. And then we have 2 types of angles compared to right angle. We have the acute angle and the obtuse angle. The acute angle is like a right angle that's closing. You see how the red part is closing down towards the blue? The obtuse angle is like a right angle that's opening. You see how the red angle is swinging out? In either case, you have that little yellow line in between, all right? That just signifies angle, all right? And then one's acute and one's obtuse. If that red part makes it all the way down to the ground, so to speak, all right, you get what's called a straight angle. A right angle measures 90 degrees, and a straight angle measures 180 degrees, all right? So right angle measures 90, straight measures 180, acute measures less than 90, and obtuse measures more than 90, but less than 180, all right? Here's another type of angle. We're going to talk about adjacent angles, all right? So adjacent angles are angles that are just next door to each other. I love the way on that other video they said angles that share a fence, all right? So you have angle A and you have angle B, okay, and they share a fence between them. That's adjacent. Adjacent is just a fancy word for next to. And it's not on this drawing, but you can be next to more than one angle, all right? If you share a fence, if there was another angle on the other side of A, it would also be adjacent to A, but it wouldn't be adjacent to B, all right? Adjacent is just a fancy word for next to. Let's look at another type of angle. The vertical angle, and don't let this complicated drawing confuse you, all right? You have 2 lines, you have an L and an M, that's what they're called, line L and line M, and when they meet on that X, they make 4 angles, A, B, C, and D, okay? And those angles are in congruent pairs to each other, meaning that A and C are congruent. I always say across the X from each other. D and B are congruent. They're across the X from each other. A and C are congruent. They're across the X. D and B are congruent. They're across the X. All right? Also notice, if we want to bring back a word, A is adjacent to B. They share a fence. Do you see that fence? That fence is line M. A is also adjacent to D. They share a fence. That fence is line L. There's a lot of adjacents up here. All right? But the basic angle here is this vertical angle across the X from each other. That was exciting. That little book. Next we have complementary angles. Complementary angles are angles that add up to 90 degrees. Now there's 2 ways this could work, all right? The first way it could work is like over here where they literally are touching each other, they're adjacent, they make a right angle together, 40 plus 50 makes 90. But come over here. These angles aren't touching. They're not making a right angle together. They're not adjacent. They're separate from each other. They're still complementary because 27 plus 63 equals 90. So both of these examples are complementary because they both make 90 degrees. This one happens to be in a pretty right angle. This one isn't. They're still complementary. And last but not least, we have supplementary. Supplementary is just like complementary, but instead of with a 90 degrees, we're talking about 180. Look over here, all right? Supplementary angles. This right here makes a straight angle, 180 degrees. We got 40 plus 140 makes 180. And the same thing comes true over here, all right? We have 2 angles. They're not touching. They don't actually make a line together, but 60 plus 120 still makes 180. They would make a line if we rotated and fit them together, all right? And that is it for angles. That's the review. We have acute, obtuse, right, straight, adjacent, vertical, complementary, supplementary. I'll meet you back in the classroom.
Okay, 8th grade math. Let's go strong. We're going to finish up our assignment from the other day, take a break, and come back ready to go in October. Let's hit it. I'll see you guys soon.